What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Serving Fayetteville, and today I'm going to talk about the gun laws of North Carolina. I'm going to go over carry concealed weapons, open carry, and the laws of deadly force in North Carolina. So let's go ahead and get started. Full disclaimer, I am not an attorney, but I'm a retired police officer with Fayetteville Police Department with over 20 years of experience. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. One question I get asked a lot is, I am in the military and I'm moving there. Can I still get a gun permit without residing in North Carolina and getting a state ID here? And the short answer is yes, you can. As long as you bring some kind of military document showing you're a military or military dependent, yes, you don't have to get a state ID or a driver's license showing that you now reside here. The documents from the military will be suffice. Also, if you're not a military dependent and you're just moving to North Carolina and you want to bring your guns here from another state, you're allowed to bring your guns here and you don't have to notify the sheriff's office. So first thing I want to talk about is open carry in North Carolina. And what does that mean? So you're allowed to have your gun in a holster, level 1 holster at a minimum in North Carolina. It means you have to have it. Open carry means people can see it. So if you're walking around town, you can't have it tucked in your waistband. You can't have your shirt cover up your gun. For you ladies, you can't have your gun in a purse, none of that stuff. You can't have it hidden by the jacket or a shirt. It's got to be open carry. Means everybody can see it. Also be aware that each business, if they have a sign on their door that says no carry allowed in this business, or concealed or open carry, that means you cannot walk into that business with a gun. Each business is a private business with public access. And a lot of people are saying, well, this is a public place. No, it's not. If you're going to the mall closes at 9 o'clock. So at 9:01, you're not walking into the mall. Why? Because it's closed. So that doesn't mean that it's a public place. It's a private business with public access to a certain amount of time. Also, with open carry, if you're in your vehicle and you get stopped by the police, put your hands on the steering wheel. When the officer approaches, make sure your gun is visible to the officer. I would even say, as soon as they approach your vehicle, tell the officer, hey, I've got a gun in the car. Don't reach for it. Don't look at it. Don't touch it. Let them know there's a gun in the car and where it's at. Hey, officer, I've got a gun in the vehicle and it's in the passenger seat next to me. Or it's on the floorboard. Just be aware, it can't be in your glove compartment. It can't be in your little console hidden, because now it's not open carry. It's concealed. Okay, if the officer can't see it, it's concealed. Just because you know it's there doesn't mean the officer knows it's there. So be aware of that. They can charge you with carrying a concealed weapon. So that doesn't mean when you get stopped and you go, hey, I got a gun underneath my car. Underneath my car seat. That doesn't work. You will get charged, possibly. So let's say you want to buy a gun in North Carolina, specifically Fayetteville, Cumberland County area. It will cost you $5 for a gun permit. What you need to do is go to the sheriff's office in Cumberland County or whatever county you reside in and apply for a gun permit. You're allowed up to 5 gun permits at one time. The gun permit process usually takes about 30 days. So they can do a background check on you, make sure that everything's good with you. You can't be a felon. You can't be charged with or convicted of domestic violence. And maybe some other misdemeanors also. And those things change all the time. So I hate to say what they may or may not be now, because the time of this video, it could change. So if you're wanting to buy a shotgun or a long gun rifle, all you need to do, you don't need a gun permit for that. It's only for handguns. What you'll do if you walk to your local gun dealership, tell them what you want to buy, of course, and what they will do is they will call the NICS number. The NICS number is the National Instant Crime Background Check System. And what that means is they call this number, they do a quick background check on you and run your information to see if they will allow you to purchase a long gun or shotgun. Usually it doesn't take too long unless there's an issue. If there's an issue, there's a challenge or some kind of appeal needs to be done, then of course they're going to give you the gun and then you have to go through this appeal process. And it could be something minor. They may have something in your background that they're worried about, or it could be you have a common name and they have to do more research and make sure you're not somebody else with that same name. Now we're going to talk about CCWs, or carry concealed weapons. And in North Carolina, you have to take a course. It's about 8.5 hours, depending on who you go to. It's usually $50 to $75, could be more, could be less. But it's an 8.5 hour class, and they're going to talk about the laws of deadly force in North Carolina. Along with the fee for the class, you're going to have to pay about $85 to get a carry concealed permit in North Carolina, and then every 5 years it will get renewed. It only costs you about $95 every 5 years, and you don't have to retake a course. It's just make sure if your license expires on May 31st that you already took the necessary steps to renew your license. If you don't, then you will have to take all these courses over again. Now that you're allowed to carry concealed, like I said earlier, that doesn't mean you can walk into a restaurant, the mall, movie theater, whatever the case may be. If there's a sign on the door that says no weapons allowed, that means no weapons allowed. That means you just can't go, well, I got to carry concealed, so I'm special. It doesn't work that way. You've got to follow the laws. Now, these businesses can refuse business to you if they believe you have a handgun, even if it's concealed, and ask you to leave. That means now if you don't leave, you're trespassing. So don't be a Karen and think that you're above that. Also, if you're being approached by a police officer or stopped on a traffic stop, let the officer know that you have a weapon and it's concealed. Don't reach for it, don't touch it, don't look at it. Let the officer know, put your hands up, let them know where the weapon's at. So, and then also they're going to ask for your carry concealed permit. Make sure you have it on you. If you have your gun on you, you should have your carry concealed permit on you. Because if you don't, you can be charged for not notifying the officer that you have a carry concealed. They will run your information and they will find out you do, and then you'll get in trouble. So don't go down that rabbit hole. Those are need to. Also, if you have a carry concealed permit, you don't have to pay for a gun permit because you already got the carry concealed permit. That's good enough, and then you don't need to buy a gun permit. And a carry concealed permit is only for handguns. Of course, if you're sticking a shotgun or rifle on your pants, good luck with that. And I wouldn't saw it off because now you got a weapon of mass destruction. That's a whole nother video, so we won't get into that. Also, if you've got a carry concealed permit in another state and you're coming into North Carolina and you want to get a carry concealed permit here, you will have to take the course here because we have different state laws and than other states, obviously, with the laws of deadly force. So you will have to take the course here too, pay for the whole. Also, if you have a carry concealed permit in another state and you're visiting North Carolina, or you're in North Carolina with a gun with a carry concealed permit and you're visiting another state, there's a good chance that your carry concealed will carry into the other state. It's called reciprocity. Not every state honors this. So I will provide a website below in the description and here in front of you somewhere. So definitely check that website if you are traveling or if you're coming into North Carolina. You want to make sure because that thing can change at any time. So I think for the most part, I think about 35 to 40 states do recognize North Carolina. Just be aware, just because you're coming into North Carolina or vice versa, that the laws could change because now you have to follow our state laws. So you may have the laws of deadly force may be different in Texas, for example. And just because you're in North Carolina doesn't mean you follow the laws of Texas. Now you follow the laws of North Carolina. If that makes sense. Next, I'm going to go over the laws of deadly force in North Carolina. And the first one I talk about is North Carolina General Statute 14-52.2. And what that talks about is you're able to defend yourself inside your home, your car, or place of work. As you can see in the screen in front of you, 14-51.3. The person justifies using deadly force if he or she believes that such force is necessary to prevent imminent death or great bodily harm to himself or herself or another person. Also be aware what self-defense is. If someone comes up and punches you in the face one time, that doesn't mean you can pull your gun out and start shooting them. You will be charged with possibly involuntary manslaughter or manslaughter. be aware of that. Now, what you think is imminent danger is up to you, what you can justify to the courts. I'm not saying do or don't do that. That's up to you. So do what you think you can handle. If you feel your life's in danger, then you will have to do what you need to do to prevent your life or someone else's life not to be in danger anymore. Also, if you look at North Carolina General Chapter 14-52.2, it talks about your home, your workplace, and your vehicle. And this is considered your castle doctrine. And your home is considered your castle. I know we talk about vehicle and workplace, but let me explain what that means. So basically, your home is your castle. You should be able to defend yourself and not have to retreat so far to protect yourself or your family from a trespasser. You're at your home and somebody breaks into your house. You don't know what their intentions are. Are they there to steal your TV or they're there to hurt you and your family? You have to justify what you believe is imminent death or threat. Same thing with your vehicle. If you're driving down the street, you're at a red light and someone opens up your car door and you don't know what their intentions are, you do what you think is necessary. Thanks for watching this episode of Serving Fayetteville, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.